I'm glad I made it to Sonora Pass on time. That would have been a long walk. I might want to get a hitch, but taking the shuttle was much nicer to get down there. And Kennedy Meadows was a nice place to get a resupply. They have a restaurant there. I stayed in a dorm room with 3 other guys. They have all the amenities you'd need. Surprisingly, they are not affiliated. It's just a coincidence with Kennedy Meadows South. So there's like a Kennedy Meadows campground up here and Kennedy Meadows down south, but they're not related to one another. But good to recharge, eat some hot food. Got a breakfast this morning, and I am back out on the trail heading toward South Lake Tahoe. So I'm gonna see how fast I can do that. And that's where my Sierras adventure is over and I can continue on. So I'm pretty excited about that. I really killed myself getting to Sonora Pass yesterday. I got some cell reception at the top of a mountain, and I called up to see what time the shuttle arrived and realized I had 2.5 hours to make it 6.5 miles, which with the trail I was on, normally I can do that. So I thought, no problem, I'll make it. Well, the trail turned into this nightmare of shale and loose pebbles that was kind of like sand going uphill, so you couldn't get a grip. And then downhill was this really like decomposed granite, so one wrong step and you started sliding. So you had to be real careful trying to go fast. And then, even though it's late in the summer, there were about 5 snow traversals of significant size. Nothing too scary or anything, but you want to take it carefully so you don't slip and turn into a bad day. So everything there was slowing me down, so I was trying to make up time going uphill, because about half of that 6.5 miles was uphill. So I really pushed myself hard, but I made it there with 20 minutes to spare, so that was good. I don't stand between a thru-hiker and his dinner. This section of the trail has been gorgeous thus far. Trail's pretty good. I've hit a rocky section, unfortunately, but there's a lot of good trail, and the wildflowers are just amazing. They're really sprouting up here, more so than even some of the areas in the Sierras, or well, South Sierras. But gorgeous here. I've been hearing clanging for miles, and I think I finally found what it is. It looks like we have some kind of strange convention. I'll resist making any jokes about needing more cowbell. This one's just hanging off by himself, or herself. Oh, apparently I'm not good company. Bye. This section of the trail is really pretty. I hope it's indicative of the rest of it, because I could hike in this for a couple more days. I love all of the wildflowers. They really seem to be blooming here. I hear the cowbells everywhere, but I haven't been seeing them, so they're hiding out in the woods somewhere. I keep thinking one's gonna pop out, but I just don't see them, even with all those bells. I certainly see evidence of them. They leave little prizes on the trail to avoid. Hey cows, is it okay if I use the trail? Excuse me. They don't seem very sociable, do they? I think I'm going to not camp near a whole bunch of bells. I don't want to wake up and have them milling about. I can see I'm starting to hit civilization and that the Sierras are closing out. Whereas on the rest of the trail, you're always crossing dirt roads or a paved road, or you'll find some trailhead or something. That hasn't been the case in the Sierras. It's hard to get in and out of them. But now I'm seeing a lot more dirt roads and paved roads. Just past a Blue Lake road with major traffic on it. And I see all kinds of trailheads and more day hikers. So I can tell I'm getting close. In fact, I'm less than 30 miles from Echo Lake, which is the hopping point to South Lake Tahoe and the end of the Sierras, which is pretty cool. The Sierras have been tough on me. I'm gonna take a shorter day today. Well, shorter I'd say. 26 miles I did yesterday, and I was trying to take it easy. So the trail has definitely gotten easier. Today I'm gonna do a 22. I could have done a 28 and got to Echo Lake, but it's Saturday, and South Lake Tahoe in August on a Saturday is about 3+ times more than Sunday and the weekdays. So I thought what I'll do is I'll get the closest campsite I can to Echo Lake, and I'll just camp at about 22 miles and some change, and I'll be about 5 miles from town. Then just go in tomorrow. Save a lot of money that I can use for my zero or food or anything else. So no point in giving them $250 to $300 for a night. I'll keep that money. But I am getting excited to close out the Sierras and move on. Still need to make it to Truckee before I get to skip up, but this will be a huge milestone. And hopefully my zero takes care of the peeing blood thing. I actually didn't have any this morning, so last night's rest apparently did me good. We'll see what it's like by the end of today. Today turned out to be a pretty good day. I started with a nasty headache this morning, and I just couldn't shake it for a while, but finally it went away and went over my last pass today, Carson Pass of the Sierras, that is, and at the bottom there's a Carson Pass Visitor Center, and the staff there is super friendly to PCT thru-hikers. And when you come in, they'll ask if you're a thru-hiker. Guess I look the part. And they just start throwing snacks at you. I had a couple sodas, an apple, a brownie. They kept trying to throw more, and I finally was like, no, I gotta go. But I had a nice chat with them, and it was really nice to go in there and get that hospitality. And made it to my tent site, a little bit of water running here, and got a relatively flat spot, and I am only 5.25 miles from Echo Lake. So tomorrow morning I will be able to head on down and either hitch or get an Uber if I've got cell reception, or whatever works best to get me into South Lake Tahoe. And I think that maybe a late breakfast is in order, or if I get there late enough, lunch, but food sounds good. In the seemingly never-ending amount of overlaps, the PCT overlaps the Tahoe Rim Trail at this point. It's like getting double miles for free just hiking it. I am about 3, maybe a little bit less miles from Echo Lake, where my journey in the Sierras ends. I can hear car noises from Highway 50 already, so that's exciting. That tells me I'm getting close, and that I get to play Frogger going across Highway 50. I guess it's pretty busy, so hopefully I don't have any grandmotherly frogs to help across. I'll get extra points. The Sierras have been real hard on me. I spent a good portion of them in quite a bit of physical pain and pee and blood. But it is hard trail. Whether you got snow on it or don't have snow on it, it's hard trail. So I'll be glad to move on to other things. Not to say that there won't be some hard segments, but nothing sustained like the Sierras. So I feel proud that I've made it through. And I'm hoping that a Nero today and a 0 tomorrow, those couple days will help tone down, heal whatever's broken inside of me, so I can move on without that particular impediment. But even if not, it'll still be good to get some rest and some food. Well, that was frustrating. I didn't realize that the PCT, as I was going up this hill, suddenly curved off to the right, and I took the what looked like large trail. I didn't even see the side trail up over the hill, and I thought, wow, I didn't remember there being such a big hill at the end here, other than after the highway. And got up to a road, and I thought, I don't think this is supposed to be here. So I took it down to the right to the Highway 50 and realized I'd missed 0.3 miles of the PCT. So I just finished backtracking that so I could get those miles. And now I'm going back over them down to Highway 50. So not the end of the world, but still kind of frustrating to have to go and spend a few minutes to go pick up the trail you missed, especially when it's uphill. But I'm going downhill now, and Almost back to Highway 50, but right when you're at the end.